In a quiet mountain village, an elderly monk once welcomed a restless traveler who had walked for days to seek his wisdom. The traveler, exhausted yet still brimming with questions, sat down at the edge of the temple courtyard and asked, "Why do I feel no peace, no matter how much I search for it?" The monk, instead of answering directly, handed him a smooth stone and said, "Hold this and follow me." They walked together through the forest in silence. Birds sang above, a stream murmured beside them, and yet the traveler's mind remained noisy. "I can't stop thinking," he said. "Every moment is filled with worries, work, money, my family, the world." The monk smiled gently. "Peace is not something you chase. It's something you remember." He pointed to the stone. "That rock has no worries about where it will fall or how long it will rest beneath a tree. It simply is." The traveler frowned. "But I am not a stone. I have responsibilities, goals, ambitions. I can't just be." And that is where the first mistake begins. The belief that peace must be postponed until all the tasks are done, all the problems solved, all the people pleased. Many live their lives with the illusion that peace is a reward, waiting at the end of a long, hard road. But peace is not the destination. It is the path. And when you constantly chase a moment of perfection before allowing yourself to rest, you are choosing suffering. So the first reason you can't find peace is this: you're waiting for peace to be earned. But peace isn't something to be achieved. It's remembered, returned to, allowed. It's the breath you already have, the silence between your thoughts, the space between one task and another. Long ago, a disciple once asked the Buddha, "What have you gained through meditation?" And the Buddha replied, "Nothing. But let me tell you what I've lost: anger, anxiety, depression, insecurity, fear of old age and death." That is the nature of peace. It's not an addition, but a subtraction. The traveler's hands tightened around the stone. "But if I let go of ambition, won't I lose progress? Won't I become lazy?" The monk sat down beneath a tree and gestured for the traveler to do the same. Ambition is not the enemy. Attachment to it is. Peace and purpose can live together. The lotus blooms from the mud, not by fleeing it, but by rising through it. The forest was quiet for a while. A breeze carried the scent of pine. The monk continued, "The second reason peace eludes many is that you're clinging to control. You believe that if you can just manage every detail, your schedule, your relationships, your emotions, then you'll finally relax. But control is a heavy burden. It requires constant vigilance, endless correction. It tells you, you must fix everything before you can feel okay. And this need for control stems from fear, the fear of the unknown, of being vulnerable, of being seen as weak. But true peace doesn't come from domination. It comes from surrender. This doesn't mean giving up. It means letting go of the illusion that life owes you predictability, that you can or must shape everything. Life is a river, and the more tightly you try to hold the water, the more it slips through your fingers. A woman once spent years trying to plan every step of her life, her career, marriage, children, retirement. She thought control meant safety. But when her husband died suddenly, she was left shattered. "I did everything right," she said. "Why did life still betray me?" And in her grief, she discovered something deeper, that peace is not found in the life you imagined. It is found in how you meet the life that actually arrives. The monk looked at the traveler. When we let go of control, we begin to trust. We begin to flow with life, not against it. The traveler whispered, "But what if I lose myself?" "Then perhaps," the monk said softly, "you will finally meet yourself." There was once a young man burdened by endless regrets and worries, always haunted by the fear of failure and rejection. He constantly compared himself to others, measuring his worth by achievements and possessions. One day, feeling overwhelmed, he sought the advice of an old sage known for his wisdom. The sage handed him a simple cup filled with water and asked, "What do you see?" "Water," the young man replied, puzzled. "Now, try to grasp the water tightly in your fist," the sage instructed. He did so, but water spilled through his fingers. "Exactly," the sage smiled gently. "The third reason you can't find peace is that you're holding on too tightly to expectations, to grudges, to past mistakes, to what should have been. Like the water, when you clutch these too tightly, peace slips away." The young man's eyes widened. "But how can I let go when these things feel so real, so painful?" The sage nodded understandingly. Letting go does not mean forgetting or denying reality. It means releasing the emotional weight that drags your spirit down. Buddha taught that attachment is the root of suffering. When we loosen our grip on what cannot be controlled, we free ourselves. He continued, "There's an old proverb. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. By refusing to release resentment or regret, you poison your own heart." The young man took a deep breath, feeling a shift inside him. "So peace is not about changing the past, but changing my relationship with it?" "Exactly," said the sage. "Your story remains, but your suffering can end." Nearby, a river flowed quietly. See how the river carries leaves, stones, even branches downstream? It doesn't cling. It flows. You too must learn to flow with life's currents, letting go when holding on harms you. The young man felt the first flicker of relief. It's not easy. No, but it is necessary. And with each gentle release, you find a little more peace. Many seek peace through external achievements, wealth, status, recognition, but often find these only deepen their unrest. A wealthy merchant once invited a humble monk to his grand estate, hoping to hear the secret of happiness. The monk walked through the opulent halls, observing the gold, the fine silks, the abundant feasts. The merchant asked, "How do I find peace when I have all this, yet feel empty inside?" The monk replied with a story. Long ago, a man found a precious jewel and kept it locked away, fearing others might steal it. But as he guarded it obsessively, the jewel lost its sparkle in the darkness. The merchant frowned. "So what does this mean for me?" It means the fourth reason you can't find peace is that you're searching for fulfillment outside yourself. Happiness that depends on possessions or approval is fragile, like a candle flame in the wind. The monk continued, "Buddha taught that true happiness arises from within through compassion, mindfulness, and wisdom. When you plant a seed in dark soil, no matter how rich the soil, it won't grow without sunlight. Similarly, your inner peace needs nourishment from within, not from fleeting external things." The merchant pondered, "But how do I cultivate this inner garden?" "By turning your attention inward," the monk said, "through daily reflection, kindness, and letting go of desires that lead to craving and suffering." He smiled gently. As the saying goes, thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. When you nurture your inner light, it spreads and brightens your world. In a bustling town lived a man constantly plagued by doubt and self-criticism. No matter how much he accomplished, a voice inside told him he wasn't good enough. One evening, exhausted and disheartened, he visited a quiet temple on the outskirts. An elderly monk greeted him with serene eyes and asked, "What troubles your mind?" The man confessed, "I can't find peace because I'm always battling my self-fear, judgment, anxiety. How can I be free when my own mind is my prison?" The monk nodded knowingly. The fifth reason peace escapes you is that you are trapped by your own mind. The mind, when left unchecked, creates illusions that trap and torment us. He shared a story. Once a king chased a rainbow, hoping to catch its end and find treasure. But the rainbow vanished each time he approached. Similarly, the mind's illusions disappear when we stop chasing them. Buddhism teaches that attachment to thoughts and emotions fuels suffering. By practicing mindfulness, observing without judgment, you create space where peace can arise. The man sighed, "But how do I quiet this restless mind?" The monk smiled gently. Like training a horse, it takes patience and kindness. Each moment of awareness, each breath returned to the present, weakens the grip of fear and doubt. He concluded, "Remember the proverb, the quieter you become, the more you can hear. In stillness, peace grows." Many believe that peace comes from escaping life's hardships, but suffering is part of the human journey. A wise teacher once told a story of a bamboo grove. In the storm, he said, the bamboo bends, but does not break. Its strength lies not in resisting the wind, but in yielding to it. The sixth reason you can't find peace is this: you resist suffering instead of embracing it. The struggle against pain often creates more pain. When you fight against what is, you only deepen your own suffering. Buddhism teaches the concept of dukkha, the truth of suffering, as an essential step to liberation. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means recognizing suffering without fear or denial. One proverb says, "Smooth seas do not make skillful sailors." Through hardship, resilience is born. When you embrace life's challenges with openness, your heart softens. You learn to flow like the bamboo, finding strength and flexibility rather than rigid resistance. Peace is not the absence of suffering, but the wisdom to meet it with grace.